Hello everybody, Jordan Nelson here. Today we're going to talk about how to stay creative with your wedding filmmaking. Let's get started. Now this video comes as a response to a comment I got on a previous video asking how to stay creative with your wedding films. And I think I've even gotten caught in the monotony of doing wedding films a certain way. I shoot them the same way and I edit them the same way, and I just have the system that works without bringing a ton of new stuff to the table. Now the last thing you want to do is completely change the way that you do wedding films in a way that's going to be a surprise to the couples that you already have lined up. The reason they booked you is because they already liked your work. So if you're going to completely change the way you do things, you're either going to need to have that talk with the couples, or you're going to need to wait until there's a fresh client, letting them know that the ones that you've been doing so far are not going to be indicative of what they're going to get. It's going to be a lot different. So that's not the tip that I'm going to give you to be creative. The tip here is to add something new or different, maybe something you haven't tried before, every time you shoot a wedding. That does two things. One, it keeps you engaged. It gets you excited. It's a fantastic feeling when you're sitting down editing this wedding film and then you put together this sequence or this new thing that you've never done in a wedding film and it turns out great. Like, I've called my wife over before and just been like, you gotta come see this. Like, this looks so cool. You're just, okay, woo. All right, you get the point. I get excited. I do something new. I create something new. That is really exciting to put something together like that. So it's good for you to get excited about the wedding film. Now, every wedding day is different. So really every wedding film that you create is going to be something creative and something new and something fresh, because they're different people, different stories. But as far as staying creative with your craft of doing wedding videography, doing something artistic and cool and new and fresh is really gonna help you, give you some energy and excitement when you're filming this thing. And the other thing it's going to do is it's going to help you grow as a filmmaker. Your videos are going to become better as you add new things to your repertoire. You know how to do things, you know how to be more creative, you know how to use your editing system better, you know how to do certain types of shots better. Now don't sacrifice too much for trying to do some crazy new thing for making sure that you're capturing the day. So let me give you some examples of a few things I've done. I looked up online different wedding films and was inspired by certain things that they did, and I wanted to incorporate it in my own certain way in my wedding films. So example number one here is the wedding party speed ramp. Now I saw this in another wedding film online. They did it with the girls getting ready. They were all kind of doing a funny pose in the room, but I decided to translate that over to just the wedding party doing their photos and setting them up at the location outdoors somewhere. And it worked really well. It became a staple in a lot of my videos. Now, at this point, I've done it so many times, I think it's really not as fun and creative for me anymore because I've done it so much. If I think the shot will look really cool and a couple really like it, or if they made a comment about it in my recent videos, like, I love that shot, let's do that, I'll do it. But I'm trying to try out some new things now in my wedding film. But this was one thing where I was excited when it was put together. I love the fun vibe that it gave. So that was one idea that I got from another wedding filmmaker that I adapted in my own videos to help me stay creative. Example number two, similar concept with the speed ramp, except I did it with just the couple at the end of the video. So this is what that shot looked like. I just walked around them 5 or 6 times and I had them turn 90 degrees. And then once they had made their turn and did their pose, I would stop kind of in front of them. And then once I got my shot, I would keep walking. So I just did the speed ramp on that and it turned out really cool. And that was something exciting when it was all put together. I was like, that worked out really well. And one last example here, at the very end of the film, I would do some fast cuts of some shots that were already in the video, but it gave a chronological overview of the day. Just like, look at all that we watched, look at what happened, how cool were each of these moments, almost like a summary or the crescendo of the video, and then ending on a shot of the two there. Of course, all this is synced with the music, so it gives it a really, really cool vibe. Now, I really do think the couples were happy with these certain creative decisions because, one, it was a capturing of the day, so I still captured their wedding day, but put it together in a form that was creative and artistic and engaging and fun to watch, and something that they're going to enjoy for years and years to come. It's easy to just get in the rhythm of, oh, this is what I do, this is the easiest way to do it, these are long days, I really don't want to use a ton of energy trying to think up other stuff, but it's really going to help you to get excited and energized about what you're making, rather than just seeing similar videos every time Of course though, they're all gonna be different because they're different people, different wedding day schedule, all great in their own certain ways, but as far as you, the videographer, and getting creative and artistic, doing new things each time is really gonna help. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and click that subscribe button right about there. I have a lot more wedding videography tutorials on this channel. You can find that playlist right up there, and if you just like one example of what one of those would look like, that video right down there. I think I'm pointing correctly. It's hard to know. It's like they're just floating somewhere in nowhere land. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.